Oakley dokley. Let's see here. Turn off BRB image. Oh, speaking of which, I need to actually change that. You know, it's funny because I upgraded my monitor. I upgraded to a bigger monitor and or larger monitor, as it were. My resident settings before were 1600 by 900 on my old monitor, which is now the same monitor I'm still using, but it's now my spare, I guess. It's funny because that was my native resolution, and because my BRB image matches that resolution, it's too small for my current monitor, which is just, you know, your typical 1920 by 1080, which I love. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. Just not a big deal. Anyways, let's see here. Let us get back into a game. It took me a little bit longer because I figured while I was gonna eat, you know, I should probably take the opportunity and feed my animals, my animals. My cats definitely need to be fed as well, and it was about that time, so I said, what the hell? So it took a little bit longer than I anticipated. Not a problem. Let's talk to Kasparov first, and then we'll deal with all of our dialogue.
Welcome to my workshop.
And proceed.
I saw you fighting the dead out in Lower Crossing, and I dare say you were absolutely brilliant. Evidently, cutting you off that noose was the best decision the captain made that day. Ah, where are my manners? I'm Kasparov, scientist and inventor. What brings you to my humble shop?
The captain said you wanted to speak with me?
Rift gates, yes. The ethereals use them to get around. I was working on a way to close them, but then you stumbled through ours. We have never seen a human, possessed or otherwise, pass through one before. Not a living one, anyway. It was then that I realized that we could put these portals to use. There is something about you that is attuned to the rift gates, and I intend to replicate it.
Wait, I what?
You don't remember anything, do you? I may have taken some liberties while you were out cold. It was just a few tests, a blood sample or two, nothing major. The results were curious. It appears that your body is still teeming with residual aether energies. Don't worry, you won't be growing any new limbs, probably. But I'm going on tangents here. I believe that with a correctly tuned pulse of aether energy, we can replicate this phenomenon in a controlled manner, as in without the need for pesky possession. I've been working on just the device to do it, but it needs power. For that, I require Aether Crystal fragments.
So let's ask him, where can I find them?
You'll be looking for large formations of crystals with an unnatural green glow. They are strewn about the landscape now, anywhere the ethereals have left their mark. Shouldn't be too hard to find, especially around places with large concentrations of corpses. I'd check the graveyard. Be careful, though. Those crystals are a bit unstable around the living.
So just FYI, the Aether Crystals that we're talking about are the same Aether Crystals that I was speaking about before when we activated our first devotion shrine that required an Aether Crystal. So he's going to be requiring some of these crystals. So he wants us to bring 4 Aether Crystals back from, and apparently we have all 4 because, here we are. No, that's the slit necklace. Oh, here we are. Aether Crystals. We got 6. So it sucks. We're going to be down to 2. But we'll be able to complete this quest, like, right now. Why not? Let's go ahead and do it.
Bring back the Aether Crystal fragments I require.
Here they are, my good man.
Excellent. These will do perfectly. I'll just place them into my device here, and... Oh my, that's not right. Not at all. That pulse, it wasn't supposed to go off. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3... Yes, my fingers are still intact. Did it reach you too? How do you feel?
I feel stronger.
Ah, very good. I'm sure a little more aether in your system won't do you the slightest harm. Okay, maybe it was a lot more. But you look fine. Fitter than ever. A real shame about the prototype, though. Showed such promise. Perhaps if I had more fragments.
I think we're done here.
Ah, we've been so preoccupied with this Riftgate business that I completely forgot about my apprentice, Darlet. I sent her out to the Burwich estates to fetch parts for our research, and she's been gone entirely too long. Seems her ineptitude carries beyond just the workstation.
You lost your apprentice?
I have to say, I do feel a little responsible for her now that she's my apprentice. Could you please go out there and find that hopeless girl?
Yes, indeed. We will keep an eye out. Okay, so completing his experiment basically rewards us with 250 experience points. So basically, you trade 4 Aether Crystals for 250 experience points. And I suppose, I mean, I guess you have to do this in order to get the other portion of this, which is now to find her or his assistant. So I guess it's technically 4 Aether Crystals for 250 experience plus the, you know, the continuation. I'm not entirely certain if doing Kasparov's missions here are required or not, or if this is completely like side quest type of stuff. Or, you know, like what I mean though is like he could actually provide, you know, some kind of better benefit, you know, having done these quests, you know, because we actually did them. But like, you know, if we tried to like completely not do them, I just wonder if we're going to be losing out on stuff. I really want to like actually make sure that we do everything. So we will indeed trade them. It's just kind of a bummer to lose that many Aether Crystals in one shot. So hold up one second. We're going to actually adjust. There's my stream. There we are. There's my chat. Okay, let's talk to Kasparov again, because he's got the little green box ahead of him, which means I think he's got additional dialogue options.
Have you happened to find my apprentice? I'm sure she's probably in some cellar in the Burwich Estates. You can bring her back here by opening a rift gate. As a matter of fact, if you find others stranded out there, you could do the same for them.
Yep, we'll keep looking. Yeah, anytime they have a little green marker above their head, that means they have new dialogue. We'll talk to Harmond again. I've heard you've been cleaning up out there in Lower Crossing. If you're going to keep fighting those bastards, you'll need better equipment than that. Here's something you'll likely never see again in this world, stranger. Something for nothing. Take some iron coin off my hands. I don't need it anymore. Why are you helping me? You see, they killed my Annabelle back when the village was first overrun. Ain't nothing gonna be bringing her back. And if it tries, I'll put a bullet through its skull. I've got nothing left but revenge, so I'll pay good iron to those willing to put down those abominations. Take Pharos, Julius, and Negan, for example. Used to all be good men, defenders of the Empire. Now nothing more than shambling fiends stalking the swamplands of Whitemire. Slaughter them. Put them in the dirt like they ought to be, and I'll give you some more iron from my stash. We're gonna put them down there, good man. So he gives us 250 iron, and he wants us to kill those 3 people that he just mentioned. Negan, Julius, and Pharos. So we're going to investigate the inside of the town, the prison, and we need to actually speak to what's his name, Faldus. He was the guy that we found out in the wilderness. But first, we're going to do our one quest here to talk to Barnabas. I think he should give us the quest to go enter the well.
The captain send you over?
I think.
He must have done quite a service with the dead if he's got hands to spare for old Barnabas. Let's get to business, yeah? Our wind pump's broken down again, and we're running low on water. We're all out of parts, so I can't fix her up. Can always melt down what weapons we have, but I'm not too fond of being devoured in my sleep. I'll need scrap from Lower Crossing.
Where can I find it?
Search the ruined houses and the old dumping grounds on the far side of Lower Crossing. Past the burial hill. Smash some junk. Search the bodies of those things roaming around out there. Where you get it isn't that important to me. Just that you get it soon. We're running out of drinking water. Nothing to be said about ever taking a bath yet.
Okay, I'll get the scrap that you need. So he needs 5 scrap. And the problem is, we also need 6 scrap to fix the bridge over here. So we're gonna need quite a bit.
So Bourbon let you stay. Bah, man is far too trusting. You'll slip eventually. Don't be going far. My noose is lonely.
Alrighty then. So I keep getting like this weird screen tear. I don't know if that's actually appearing in the live stream, the actual broadcast itself. I'm thinking it has something to do with probably the mod, the ethereal reshade. If I had to put my money on anything, it's not the base game itself. Wait, what? Interesting. Anyways, you do need 6, correct? Yes, 6 scrap and 3,000 iron bits. So in one of my test run campaigns that I did, I got that 6 scrap and all that money pretty quick. So let's see how quick I'm going to be able to do it then. So Captain said you are good to go. Don't start any trouble. Thank you, my lord. Now we have access to the inner portion, the actual prison. So we'll first start off in this like little room here. There'll be like somebody I think we rescue or something like that ends up over here in the desk and chair area. But we'll get access to the bounties at some point in the future. The people of Devil Crossing do not yet trust you with their innermost needs. A respected reputation is required to access the bounty table. So that's what it is. So factions is J. I should probably change that to F. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do that right now. Let's go to key binding. I don't think anything has F. So factions. F. Force move. Yes. Okay. So anyways, Devil's Crossing. Right now we are tolerated. Friendly is going to require 1,000. And respected is 4,500. So did it say I have to be respected? A respect, wow. So okay, so that's going to be quite a while. We need 4,500 reputation points. Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Perfectly safe illusions.
So this is what I was talking about before. In the first part of our broadcast here, is that we could change the skins of anything that we have. So if we really wanted to change, for instance, our current helmet, we can also... Can we move our person around? There we are. Just click and drag. See, we can change it. The way our helmet looks right now, you can say, man, I don't really like that. So you can change it to the circlet. And it'll still be the same helmet, it's just a different skin. And it does cost a little bit of money. That's entirely optional. I'm not going to really screw around with it until maybe like I get into like my like end game gear, you know, the stuff that you're going to be looking at for an awful long time. Okay, here's Mr. Faldus. Well, I'll be damned, you really came through for me. The rift took me back to Devil's Crossing, just as you promised. Well, you're welcome, my good sir. I'd like to thank you. Here, take everything I found out there. It's not much, but maybe you can make some use of it. Thanks. So he gives us some 500 iron, plus 50 Devil's Crossing reputation, pretty good. And then he gives us some scrap. And that means we actually have the 5 scrap. If you notice that at the top here, we got the update. We collected 5 scrap for Barnabas. Now we don't have to turn it into him. We could just not turn it in at all, wait till we get to 6 scrap and turn it in to the fixing of the bridge. I mean, assuming that we also have 3,000 ducats, coins. But we don't, so I don't know. I think we might just do the Barnabas quest because there is a side quest attached to that. Never going out there again. Let's see here. What about supplies? Not much to scavenge nearby anyhow. Besides, I'd be dead right now if you hadn't come for me. You said you came from Burwich? Yes, had a home in Mudrow before the town fell to the Ethereals. It was terrible. Fire and the dead everywhere around us. I watched my neighbors get torn to pieces by those things. It wasn't for Captain Bourbon. Captain Bourbon saved you? It was Captain Bourbon that found us hiding at the boarding house. He personally rounded up the remaining survivors and led us here through the wilderness. Even with his help, not all of us made it through the swamps. So, let's say... Sounds like it was a difficult journey. Oh, that was the end of it. Okay, anyways, let's talk to Direni.
What do you want?
See anything you like?
Now we have our faction merchant that I was describing before. So we can't even buy anything because this is the tier 1, basically the Stone Heart Oil. That's interesting that I actually have this. And was this Slith Blood Tincture? I don't have enough reputation. I have to have friendly, and if we remember,
Well spent.
friendly is 950. So we'll get that in time, but it's still going to be a little while. All right, let's talk to Edwin. He must be the Taken the rumors been spreading about. Now I ain't gonna judge, as I heard you've done right by us that undead mess up a lower crossing. The name's Edwin, and I do the cooking around here. Pleased to meet you. I ain't gonna pretend what I make is good or even edible, but it fills the gut and keeps us going. I can't do much without some proper equipment and supplies. If you ever want a bowl of the Edwin special, just let me know. I will keep that in mind. Right. It's weird that he gives us the little green marker above his head saying that there's more dialogue, but he tells us the same shite. Alright, talk to Sybil Hart. I'm sorry to bother you, but you're healed out towards Whitemere. Or if you're headed out towards Whitemere, could you keep an eye out for my brother? Who is he? His name is Milton Hart. He was a soldier in the Imperial Army. When we fled Burwich, he volunteered to cover our escape. He always had a penchant for heroics. But it has been weeks and we have not heard from him. I dread to think that he may have become one of the dead. He always wore an amulet I gave him years ago to keep him safe. Now I fear it may be preserving him in undeath. I wish nothing but for my brother to be allowed to rest in peace. Will you do this for me? We last saw each other at the Southern Hollow in Whitemire, so I'm afraid he's still out there. I will do what must be done. So right now we're just pretty much picking up all the quests. Oh. Nice. Get a new lore entry here. So this is a lore entry from the previous convicts, or the previous occupants, if you will. Even though it is a prison, who knows who these people were that died here? We'll just call them occupants. Yuck, yuck, yuck. It's weird that up here it's telling us that there's a person up here, right? And it's a person that's a named character that we can actually target, but they don't actually have any dialogue or anything. You can't interact with them at all. This kind of begs the question about why they're there in the first place. Okay, let's talk to Sadena here.
Greetings, child. I am pleased to see that the taint of possession has left you. Should you require it, I offer spiritual guidance to the survivors. I will gladly extend this service to you.
Are you the one who stopped me when I was possessed?
My knowledge of spirits has allowed me to devise a trap with which we were able to contain you and the ethereal that controlled you. It was not until the noose was firmly around your neck that the spirit left you, though.
Why haven't you dealt with the reanimator then?
I'm afraid that I am not at all fit for combat, which from my understanding was more than necessary for you to reach the reanimator's lair. I was only able to subdue the ethereal within you with the use of a trap, which would have required the reanimator to come to us, just as you have.
I do have to say that her voice acting isn't that great. I feel like there should be a little bit more emotion in the voice. It just sounds so deadpan to me. Like, it needs to be a little bit more emphatic. I don't know. There's just something about the way this is written. It just sounds so bad. You mentioned spirit guidance?
Troubled memories can cloud the mind and torment the spirit. With my guidance, you can move past these painful thoughts and begin anew.
Like, it almost sounds like somebody's reading, like almost like an audiobook, but doing it very matter-of-factly. That's kind of the way this voice actor sounds. Are you the one who stopped me when I was possessed?
My knowledge of spirits has allowed me to devise a trap with which we were able to contain you and the ethereal that controlled you. It was not until the noose was firmly around your neck that the spirit left you, though.
Okay, so I see. I will return should I require your services. Okay, so he's just finished the one quest and leveled up.
What troubles you?
The Spear Guy allows you to change your skills and devotions in exchange for iron bits and Aether Crystals. Each point refunded increases the cost of the next point. So, from what I understand, is that you can sell your skill points. You totally sell your skill points. I don't understand why this is even a thing. Why would you want to sell your skill points? Because you can't get these back, right? It's not like it's de-leveling you or something.
Safe journey.
Well, that's like the stupidest option ever. There's got to be a reason for it. I just want to know what it is. I really want to know how they justified putting this vendor in here. Because the skills are like the bread and butter of any action RPG, of any Diablo-like action RPG. Like, skill points are everything. Like, why would you sell them? So, Mrs. Constance says I'm not supposed to talk to you. Why is that? Because you have evil in your tummy. I see. I talk to Jane. I'm not talking to you. But you're talking to me right now, there, young lady. Oh no, don't tell Mrs. Constance. I'm not supposed to. Your secret is safe with me. You look mean. I am the meanest. I am pretty mean. But why? To keep you safe from the monsters. Oh, okay then. I don't like the monsters. Me neither. Did you know Mrs. Constance? She's not my real mom. She says we're a family now, but I miss my real family. I think she's weird. Do you know where my mama and papa are? No, I'm sorry I don't. Where did you last see them? At our house where we live. It's in Burwich Village, which is a lot nicer than this place. Last time I saw my papa, he had to leave late at night to go be a soldier. Then Mama, she locked us in our room and said we had to keep quiet. There were scary noises outside and yelling. We heard Mama scream, and then it got really quiet, and we were scared. I fell asleep, though, and then in the morning, the door was still locked, and I couldn't hear nothing outside. But then Mr. Bourbon came, and he kicked the door open. I thought he was a robber at first, but then he turned out to be nice. He made us cover our eyes and said we were going on a trip to a special place. This place doesn't seem very special, though. We've been here forever now, and I want to go home. I want to see Mama and Papa again. If you see them, can you tell them to come get us? I'll keep an eye out for your parents. So that's not an actual quest. I think it's more of like a flavor type of thing, meaning that they're going to be like presumably some named monster out there that you find like contextually inside a house or a basement or something. I think anyways. But I'm really just surprised that that doesn't like just like a little minor side quest or something. Like that just, I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me. So Constance says, you're the one that was possessed. You stay away from me and the children, or I'll scream and Captain John will come deal with you as he should have from the start. Calm down, lady. I don't mean you any harm. I just wanted to talk. Please, just leave me alone and stay away from the children. As you say. And then we'll finally get access to our stash.
Safe storage, no questions asked.
And we're gonna dump all of our stuff in here. As a matter of fact, you know what? I know the stuff that I'm not gonna actually use. I'm just gonna put it over there. And this is generally where I put all of my completed components. I just really quickly go through and make sure that they all say partial component. As far as this like Bloodfang oil potion, I don't really know of a time I'm actually gonna use it. So I'm just gonna throw it in stash right now. And then everything else can stay. It's fine.
I'll hold on to that for you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's everything that we needed as far as the NPCs inside the jail. Let's go and talk to, what is it, Barnabas? Barnabas.
Did you get the scrap?
Did you get the scrap? Will this suffice?
Perfect. I'll get the wind pump up and running in no time. Devil's Crossing will have safe drinking water again, and it's all thanks to you. First class is on me.
I'm glad I could help.
Well, good news is, I got the water pumping again. The only problem is, it smells like a sewer. Only about a tenfold worse. I haven't smelled something this rotten since.
Alright, well, before we continue on with this conversation, we got 350 experience points plus 300 iron pieces. Kind of strange that I didn't get any reputation from this group, any faction reputation points, because, you know, I did just fix their supply of water. You'd think that that would be a big deal.
Since I cleared out a den of slith ages ago, their loathsome reptiles make their homes in swamps and dank caves. They secrete a nasty poison into the water that makes it drinkable for them, but nearly always fatal to us. I bet good iron there's a nest in that cave that fuels our pump. I'm too old for all this spelunking, so I need you to go down there and kill it.
How do I get to the cave?
This key will open the cellar in the shack behind me, right by that accursed rift gate. It connects to the bowels of the prison, which should lead you to the cave. Find the slith matriarch that's likely polluting our water supply, and the poison should clear out on its own. You do this, and all the Devil's Crossing will be honoring your name with every glass.
I'll take care of the slith, sir. So, so we gotta help Barnabas with the water pump, which is gonna be the quest, and then the actual quest we have to slay Vyloth the Corruptor, who is gonna be in a special cave. I could have swore it was like over here, wasn't it?
Have you cleared out the slith den? Open the cellar in the shack behind me. It connects to the bowels of the
So you're talking about this place? Ah, okay. So I did not, by the way, when I took a little break to get some food, I did not end up looking up how to get into that one trap door on that one island. I completely forgot about it. Now I'm really wishing I remembered, because that's still a burning desire of mine to figure out what the hell that does. Send our minions up here, see if they actually trigger anybody. Because it's nice that the monsters, they just sit there, because it's like we haven't like aggroed them yet, which gives us like kind of like the initiative. First blood. Which is good, because then you get to actually engage them on your own terms, instead of just being rushed. You gotta be really careful about how you use your whole pet attack too, because, you know, if you're not actually targeting a monster, like let's say you're being rushed and then you just, you know, blindly press it, you know, but it might be a move order, and they're gonna complete that move order, so you gotta really make sure that you're actually targeting the monster when you're doing it. Because otherwise they could just be moving and not actually attacking. That's a really big important distinction. It's like the perfect environment for us, for me, is being behind these bars and just shooting. Trying to rotate the camera, make sure we're not missing out on like treasure boxes or whatever. Or any of the destructible pseudo treasure boxes. Yeah, what do you call those things anyways? Like, for instance, this rotting corpse. Like, what is this? Like, what is this considered? It's not a treasure box, but it's something that you interact with that always is going to give you items. Or not. I mean, it's all RNG based. And the only other thing that they ever contain is usually traps. What do you call them?